Hey everybody, this is Phil George, and today's topic that I'm going to talk about is called addicted to losing. Now, what do I mean by addicted to losing? Excuse me. I'm talking about corporate America. I'm talking about the workplace. I'm talking about working a job. We have become addicted to working a job because we were taught growing up, and we've been put in our minds that that's the system that's going to get us when we retire. That's going to help us uh, live the lifestyle that we want once we retire. And I think for most people, if you read the newspapers, if you know what's going on out there, that most people are not living that type of lifestyle at all. Some people are in a position that they will never get a chance to retire. But people keep going back to this failed system or the system that was failed because that's all that they know. They'll go from one job to another, to another, to another, to another, instead of saying, you know what, I'm tired of going through this system. Let me do something else above and beyond what I've been taught. And people don't even realize it. I know people who lost their job and who were out of work 6 months, 1 year, a year and a half, 2 years until they got another job. They never even went outside the box to, I don't know, maybe become an entrepreneur, maybe have creative control of their own finances through different means. But people will sit there and they'll wait for another job, knowing that the system is flawed, knowing that their job is not their job, and that they can be hired and fired at any given time. But people continue to go back there. And it's not to say that having a job that you're a loser. I'm not implying that at all, because I've worked in corporate America, and I've also, had a job for over 20 years. But you find yourself going around that hamster wheel over and over and over again. But you're hoping that your boss will care and do something about it. You hope that the government will care and do something about it. And you hope that the economy will change and all of a sudden it'll blossom, and you get this spectacular raise, and you can work less hours and you be spending more time with your family. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But when they say that when you do the same thing over and over again expecting different results, they call it insanity. But that's a part of what an addiction is. As a kid, I was addicted. I was addicted to video games. And I took my mom's money, went and played the video game. She told me, get a gallon of milk. Gave me a $20 bill. I went out there, spent most of that money on video games, came back with a quart and 25 cents. Needless to say, my mother wasn't happy. And I paid the consequences for that. But years later, I sat there and I thought to myself, why was I addicted to video games? Why was I playing it? And it's because I tried to conquer something that I couldn't. I tried to defeat something that I could never win at. And I had to realize that video games were not designed for you to win. They were designed for you to lose. Doesn't matter what you scored. You could have been on that video game for 5 hours straight. When it says game over, it's game over. And in order for you to play, you got to put another quarter in. So I knew I was playing something that I knew I couldn't win at. And I feel that the system that's set up for us now, with the things that we were taught about corporate America and working the job in the monetary system and getting credit and all these other things, it's a system that's designed to keep us in a certain place. And that's at a losing place. Let me give you the Wikipedia definition of addiction. The Wikipedia definition is: addiction is the continued repetition of a behavior despite adverse consequences. There's more definitions, but that's all I need to read. That's all I needed to know. And I found myself, when I was working a job, I worked for over 20 years, I found myself working more overtime, rain, sleet, snow. Even if I was angry and I wanted to quit, I still went back to that job, because that's all I really knew. And that's all I was willing to do, instead of going out there and searching for other things. Well, eventually my mind changed, my whole thought process changed, because I was educated about and taught about, and I started reading about people being successful in other areas in life, as opposed to just working a job in corporate America. And another sign of that addiction is this: people go back to school. A lot of people are going back to school to get their education. And they say, listen, you go back to school, you can make an additional $20,000 a year at your same position, but now you have a degree. But guess what? For most people, they have to go get a student loan. That student loan may come out to $25,000. So now you go into school paying $25,000 worth of student loans plus interest for a job that's going to pay you $20,000 minus taxes. Now, to me, that's a losing formula. And I'm not even going to get into 401k. I'm not even going to get into Social Security, because of those another more two more systems, and that was designed not to have you live the type of lifestyle you want. So, but I'm going to talk about that in another time. But in the interest of time, I hope what I said makes sense, and I hope you understand that the system that we are in is designed for us to lose. Again, you're not the loser. You're doing what you were taught to do. You're doing the best thing that you can do with what you know. But sometimes when people don't hit the level of life that they want to hit, is because there's something that they don't know. That's the key to it. So I hope hope you was able to take all this information in and decide for yourself. It's time to get creative control of your life. It's time to let go of other people controlling the direction of your finances and the direction of where your life is going. And it's time to take control over what you deserve and what you need to do for you and your family. So until the next time, take care.